Discover Victoria Falls, largest waterfall in the world. Hello Discoverers, welcome to another informative video presented to you by the Explorer, and thanks for watching. In this video we shall be taking you to the southern part of Africa to show you the largest waterfall in the world. Amongst the wonders of the world are these magnificent water springs which fall from great heights, making everyone who watches them to be in awe, called waterfalls. The world is made of many of these spectacles in various shapes, sizes and heights, and in this video we shall explore the largest of them all, the Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls, or the smoke that thunders, is a waterfall on the Zambezi River in southern Africa, which provides habitat for several unique species of plants and animals. It is located on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe and considered to be one of the world's largest waterfalls, due to its width of 1,708 meters. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. From the origin of its name to its honorable world position, come with us as we splash through the gorgeous Victoria Falls. Formation and naming. The Upper Zambezi River originally drained south through present-day Botswana to join the Limpopo River. A general uplift of the land between Zimbabwe and the Kalahari Desert about 2 million years ago blocked this drainage route, and a large paleo lake known as Lake Makgadikgadi formed between the Kalahari and the Batoka Basaltic Plateau of Zimbabwe and Zambia. This lake was originally endorheic and had no natural outlet. Under wetter climate conditions about 20,000 years, it eventually overflowed and began to drain to the east, cutting the Batoka Gorge through the basalt as it went. The recent geological history of Victoria Falls can be seen in the overall form of the Batoka Gorge, with its 6 individual gorges and 8 past positions of the falls. The east-west oriented gorges imply structural control with alignment along joints of shatter zones, or faults with 50 meters of vertical displacement, as is the case of the second and fifth gorges. Headward erosion along these structural lines of weakness would establish a new fall line, an abandonment of the earlier line. North-south oriented joints control the south-flowing sections of the river. One of these is the boiling point, which links the First Gorge and the Second Gorge. David Livingstone, a Scottish missionary and explorer, is believed to have been the first European to view Victoria Falls on 16 November 1855, from what is now known as Livingstone Island. Livingstone named his sighting in honor of Queen Victoria of Britain, but the Soto language name Mosi Autonia, or the smoke that thunders, continues in common usage, and the World Heritage List officially recognizes both names. Livingstone also cited an older name, Seyango or Chongwe, which means the place of the rainbow, as a result of the constant spray. Size. While it is neither the highest nor the widest waterfall in the world, Victoria Falls is classified as the largest based on its combined width of 1,708 meters and height of 108 meters, resulting in the world's largest sheet of falling water. Victoria Falls is roughly twice the height of North America's Niagara Falls and well over twice the width of its Horseshoe Falls. In height and width, Victoria Falls is rivaled only by Argentina and Brazil's Iguazu Falls. Description. For a considerable distance upstream from the falls, the Zambezi flows over a level sheet of basalt in a shallow valley bounded by low and distant sandstone hills. The river's course is dotted with numerous tree-covered islands, which increase in number as the river approaches the falls. There are no mountains, escarpments, or deep valleys, only a flat plateau extending hundreds of kilometers in all directions. The falls are formed as the full width of the river plummets in a single vertical drop into a transverse chasm, 1,708 meters wide, carved by its water along a fracture zone in the basalt plateau. The depth of the chasm, called the First Gorge, varies from 80 meters at its western end to 108 meters in the center. The only outlet to the First Gorge is a 110 meters wide gap about 2/3 of the way across the width of the falls from the western end. The whole volume of the river pours into the Victoria Falls gorges from this narrow cleft. There are 2 islands on the crest of the falls that are large enough to divide the curtain of water, even at full flood. These are the Bauruka Island or Cataract Island and Livingstone Island. At less than full flood, additional islets divide the curtain of water into separate parallel streams. The main streams are named in order from Zimbabwe to Zambia, which are Devil's Cataract, also called Leaping Water by some, Main Falls, and Rainbow Falls, which is the highest, and the Eastern Cataract. At full moon, a moonbow can be seen in the spray instead of the usual daylight rainbow. During the flood season, however, it is impossible to see the foot of the falls and most of its face, as the walks along the cliff opposite it are in constant shower and shrouded in mist. Close to the edge of the cliff, spray shoots upward like inverted rain, especially at Zambia's Knife Edge Bridge. Tourism in recent years. By the end of the 1990s, almost 400,000 people were visiting the falls annually, and this was expected to rise to over 1 million in the next decade. Unlike the game parks, Victoria Falls has more Zimbabwean and Zambian visitors than international tourists. The attraction is accessible by bus and train, and is therefore comparatively inexpensive to reach. A famous feature is the naturally formed armchair, sometimes called Devil's Pool, near the edge of the falls of the western tip of Livingstone Island on the Zimbabwean side. When the river flow is at a certain level, usually between September and December, a rock barrier forms an eddy with minimal current, allowing adventurous swimmers to splash around in relative safety a few feet from the point where the water cascades over the falls. Occasional deaths have been reported when people have slipped over the rock barrier, so be careful when you jump into this dangerous beauty. Natural environment. The 2 national parks at the falls are relatively small. Mosi Altonia National Park, which is 66 km square, and Victoria Falls National Park, which is 23 km square. However, next to the latter on the southern bank is the Zambezi National Park, extending 40 km west along the river. Animals can move between the 2 Zimbabwean parks and can also reach Matetsi Safari Area, Kazuma Pan National Park, and Hwangi National Park to the south. On the Zambian side, fences and the outskirts of the Livingstone tend to confine most animals to the Mosi Altoona National Park. In addition, fences put by the lodges in response to crime restrict animal movement. In 2004, a separate group of police called the Tourism Police was started, who are commonly seen around the main tourist areas and can be identified by their uniforms with yellow reflective bibs. Vegetation. Mopane woodland savanna predominates in the area, with smaller areas of Myombo and Rhodesian teak woodland and scrubland savanna. Riverine forest with palm trees lines the banks and islands above the falls. The most notable aspect of the area's vegetation, though, is the rainforest, nurtured by the spray from the falls, containing plants rare for the area such as pod mahogany, ebony, ivory palm, wild date palm, Batoka plum, and a number of creepers and lianas. Vegetation has suffered in recent droughts, and so have the animals that depend on it, particularly the antelope. Wildlife. The national parks contain abundant wildlife, including sizable populations of elephant, Cape buffalo, giraffe, Grant zebra, and a variety of antelope. Lions, African leopards, and South African cheetahs are only occasionally seen, while vervet monkeys and baboons are common. The river above the falls contains large populations of hippos and crocodile. African bush elephants cross the river in the dry season at particular crossing points. Klipspringers, honey badgers, lizards, and clawless otters can be glimpsed in the gorges, but they are mainly known for 35 species of raptors. The Taita falcon, black eagle, peregrine falcon, and Uga buzzard breed there as well. Above the falls, herons, Fish eagles and numerous kinds of waterfowl are common. The river is home to 39 species of fish below the falls and 84 species above it. This illustrates the effectiveness of the falls as a dividing barrier between the upper and lower Zambezi. Effects of climatic change to the fall. In February 2020, National Geographic announced that the extreme weather conditions were threatening the natural existence of falls because the rising temperatures makes the region grow hotter and drier. Extensive studies by Dube and Namo between 2018 and 2019 shows that there is severe water flow variability from year to year, with a significant drop in the general trend of water flow in September, October, November, and December. This is particularly more pronounced in drought years, which are becoming more frequent and intense. Such occurrences have affected the aesthetics of the waterfalls, and there are fears that Victoria Falls might join other World Heritage Sites now categorized as last chance destinations. This has sparked great debate and uproar among those in the tourism industry in both Zambia and Zimbabwe, as it has already had a negative impact on tourism, and many sectors in the region are dismissing the story, daring to call it ill-researched and irresponsible journalism. You're right. Experts in the region do not deny climate change and the impact this is having on the amount of water that cascades over this natural wonder, but they are saying the narrative is incomplete. There you have it, explorers. That was the largest waterfall in the world, Victoria Falls. Thanks for watching this video, and if you did enjoy the video, do well to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.